Alright guys, welcome back. We're on module 2 and this one is, excuse me, I'm looking at my little cheat sheet down here on sound cards and click. So this is basically how to set up your sound card depending on which sound card you choose, and also getting your click track going to that drummer or whoever is in that in-ear line chain. So basically let's look at sound cards right off the bat. So first off, you got to choose your sound card, which one you want. We know we kind of stepped on that in the last tutorial, but this time, so we have a smaller sound card right here. That's kind of what most people use, unless you're going to go something really fancy like this one that you have multiple outs where you can feed to your sound guy, different outs, or if you have people who all want their own in-ear mix, you could do that with this. This one you can do in-ear mixes too. You just only have 2 in-ear mixes you can use from, and that would be from the 3 and 4 input, which is right here. So you have output, I'm sorry, you have 3 and 4 right here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you're just using this as just a stereo output for your click track, you can actually just use your headphone input right here. Your headphone input. I have my headphone input actually feeding into these 2 little speakers, and the mains actually going out to big mains. You can't see, they're off camera right now. But this works fine because then you can use this as your volume control for your drummer or whoever else, and you just do that by selecting the A and B monitoring switch right here, and I'll get into more about that why and how come in a little bit. And if you use something bigger, then you can actually either send each individual member of the band their own in-ear mix, or you can send multiple outs to the sound guy. We're just giving the drummer his own 2-channel or 1-channel in-ear mix for the click. So right now we're going to go off with smaller 4-channel input and output sound card and getting your click set up, and then we'll move over to the bigger one, and these will actually be 2 separate tutorials. So this module right here is going to be setting up the click and the sound going out in the smaller module, and there'll be another video underneath this with the bigger sound card. So let's get started. So first off, what you're going to do is you're going to plug your sound card into a USB in the back right here, this back port USB, and you're going to go two 1/4-inch cords from right and left input. Your sound card might take XLRs or whatever, and then your drummer's headphones would, for easy setup right now, is going to come out this. It's going to come out your headphone jack. And then what you're going to do is the 2 outputs are going to go into your main mixer right now. Even though I know we discussed this as being my sound card, it's actually also a mixer, and this is what's feeding my main. So as for this video right now, we're only concentrating on this, and this is just our mixer. So basically I'm coming out of right and left, 1 and 2, out of the sound card into channels 1 and 2 of our main mixer that you'd have everything else plugged into. So if you have a sound guy, you would plug this into your sound guy's mixer. And say if you do get this particular sound card that I suggested, then if you go into a mixer or a snake and doesn't have an XLR input, what you'll need to do is get a couple direct boxes. These right here, and get these are what we use. They're cheap. They're like $80 brand new or something like that, and you can get them used for like 30. And you get 2 of those for right and left, and you go from this piece right here would go on the input right there, and then you take an XLR microphone cord out of that and plug it into your mixer. So if you don't have a mixer with 1/4-inch, these take 1/4-inch and XLR in the same input. If you don't have that, you will need to get direct boxes. So put those back over there. All right. So now in Ableton, what you want to do is you want to come over here to Live up here. So when you get your set real quick, this is basically what, if you get it from us, this is basically what it looked like. But you can open this in any session and get your sound card set up. So you're going to go up to Live, and you're going to Preferences, and then right over here you're going to click on, I'm already on the Audio tab, but you're going to click on Audio tab. Most than likely when you get this, it's going to look like something like this, and you're going to click on Audio tab. On your input device, you're going to go down, and this right here, this unit right here is the UMC 2 input, 4 output. Okay, so I'm going to click that. That's me, my input, and I'm going to do the same for the bottom one. I'm going to go down and find this sound card right here and click on that, and boom. And then you're going to go to output. And you don't got to worry about input unless you're recording, but you're going to go to output, and you're going to make, and when you first get it, it's probably going to look something like that with these two grayed out. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn those on, make sure all your inputs and outputs are on. If there's more, if you have a sound card with more, just turn them all on, make sure they're all on. And that way Ableton will be able to tell. See, if I go right here to Ableton, let me close out of this, and if I go down here now to my output on say the click track, if I pull that down, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I have separated 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are all my outs. Now if I go back over here and change that, preferences, and I go back to outputs, and I turn these off, and I click OK, Ableton's not going to see those other outputs. So now if I pull this down, all you see is 1, 2, and 1, 2. 3, 4 is gone. So you can click on configure here. It'll automatically open your preferences window and take you right back to here. Click on output, activate all your outputs. Now we can see all your active outputs right here. We're going to click OK, and now we are good to go. So now for this small sound card, we want outputs 1 and 2, which are the little red, which are these cables plugged into outputs 1 and 2. We want those to go to our mains. So those are what the audience is going to hear. And we're going to go right here to master output. This input Q, you don't need to worry about on that one. So you want this on 3 and 4, I mean on 1 and 2, master output, this one on 3 and 4. And then now on the set, how I set up the sessions is I take my click tracks, my click and my cue, and right here is your outputs. These are your output monitors. It tells Ableton where to send your outputs. As you can see, all our music tracks, they're all on master, which master means this output right here, which is basically, and we're setting the master output to 1 and 2. All right, so master right here, and if you have a bigger sound card, and say maybe you want to like something like this, and you want to send the music to 15, 16. Then when all those are activated, you could actually pull this down and leave these on master, and just go to master out, and then you'll see we have a bigger sound card and all those are activated. You'll see 15 and 16 in here, and you would just click on 15 and 16. Or if I wanted to send this to 3 and 4, now my master would be going out 3 and 4, but which would be the headphone jack. We don't want this on this unit. We only want it coming out 1 and 2. So we'll get more to that when we move to this unit. So all the music, leave it on master. And then over here on your click sends, we're going to go right down here. If you buy my sets, they're already set up this way. If you are making your own, then this is what you want to do. You want to go over here and you want to click a bus, an auxiliary bus, which is basically create, and you're going to click insert return track, right, like that. So this right here, I have click A as a return track. And then you can, of course, right-click and rename it, whatever. I'm going to undo that because I already have a return. But basically, that's what this is. This A click is a return. So, and then if I do another one, if I create another one, it's going to call it C return, and so on. So it's A, B, C, D, and you can't remove those A, B, C, D. That's why it says A click. So I'm going to undo those and get rid of those. So right now, so there's my number 1 return, so basically a bus track, and those will show up down here, right here, and these are the volumes for every single one of these tracks. This will bring the volume up, that'll go right to here, that will send that to your click, your click out here, not out the main outs. All right, so we're going to go to our number 1A click return, and this is where all these sends. Let me show you something real quick. Okay, so if I go create another insert, just so you can see. So send A is right here. So I created another return, send B just popped up right here. So basically those are buses. So now I'm going to go undo, and that'll go away. So this is the volume. This volume right here is sending all the signal to this bus. And this bus is only coming out this headphone jack. Okay? It's not coming out the mains. So whatever you have here, so like say if your drummer wants to hear a little more keyboards, then you can turn up his keyboards by just turning this up and down. If he wants to hear a little less click, you can turn the click down here by just turning this up and down. Same with the count in, you know, and it's all coming out here. So now when you're having that here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to this click return with this sound card. This bus is going to be outs 3 and 4. So we're going to go over here and we're going to make this out 3 and 4. Alright, so don't pay attention to this. This controls my mixer. It's just for me to control the volume to the mains. So right now I'm going to have my front of house main. So say this is actually your mixing board for your sound guy. I have my front of house mains turned off. So the only music you're hearing are going to come out these little tiny speakers right here, which are basically your headphones for your drummer. So I'm coming out of the headphone jack to the drummer, right? So if I click on, grab a song and click on it, you hear the click coming out of there. The music kind of, that's just a mix for the drummer in his earphones. And at no time, never mute these. I'll show you another way of doing that later. Now on this unit right here, in order for the drummer to hear the click and it not to go off the front of house, you want to, right here you're going to click this from, that's the front of house mix, which would be A. And if I go back in, B, so you have an A-B switch. So basically, if I have it on A, what you're hearing out the headphones is the
breakdown.
And if I have it on B, then what you're hearing out the headphones is 3 and 4, which is this right here. Okay, so I'm going to leave that on B so that way the click comes out of there. And how you can tell is if you have this on 3 and 4 and you have this sound card hooked up and you click, and you don't hear a click, that means you're on the main one. You can push it in and get on B. Now you hear the click back. If you're not hearing the click and you have this on 3 and 4, you're using this particular sound card, just push that button.
Drums in.
One way or the other. That's mains. That's drummer monitoring. Alright? So now if I go back to my mixing board and I turn the mixing board up. So anyhow, that's how you set up your sound card for a little 4-banger, not the big 18 banger. Anyhow, to get your click set up, it's pretty easy. You just basically we just got to refresh, go to preferences, choose your sound card, go to output, make sure these are all activated. If you get this set directly from us, all you got to do is go over to your click. Change this from, it'll be on 1 and 2. You just got to change that to 3 and 4 and make sure this one's on 1 and 2 and you're good to go. As soon as you press any of these buttons and then on your sound card,
intro, 2, 3,
this is
4.
on B. That's house coming out the headphones, and on B is your drummer's sends right here. So you can remix these anyhow you want. You can turn down all the music if you want and just have the click. You know, that's how you turn them all the way off. So here's just with click.
Verse 2, 3,
and the cue.
4.
I'm turning the cue down a little bit. It's a little bit loud. You know. So there, now he has no music in his headphones. He only has click and cue, and then, or you can even bring up his drum track, and you can hear the drum track in his headphones the way it's supposed to be played.
Pre-chorus 2, 3, 4.
Now he's getting all the music in there because I'm turning him up.
Chorus
all right, so
2,
that's
3, 4.
That's it, and then the front of house. If I turn those up. You're not hearing any click out the front of the house. It's only coming out there. So that's 4-banger. Now go to the next video. In the next video, in this same module, we'll be using the bigger sound cards and how to access
2, 3,
all of your
4.
outs to send to the sound guy. All right, so we'll see you on the next module.